Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock. Go big red indeed. No block, no rock. Season 5, episode 2 coming at you from the NBNR studio in Omaha, Nebraska. Fellas, before we get into this nice little dub that we saw, let's get into our sponsor, Nebraska Brewing Company. I got my Taco Veza. Now, I woke up this morning, go on my morning walk with my dog. Guess what I see?
What do you see?
I see my own breath. That's when you know, baby, it's football season. It's football weather. But I still decided to go with Taco Veza. Most of the time, I choose it when it's 111 heat index, but not today. So Taco Veza in a can and in the tap room. Mike Delaware.
I am also drinking the Taco Veza. Today I spent the morning and afternoon on a boat, and it was great. I was enjoying myself, had a couple beers out there, and I was like, when I got here, Kyle was like, do you want EOS? And I was like, I do want EOS, but I want something a little bit lighter today.
Yes.
I've been drinking most of the day, so I decided Taco Veza would be the move for me.
Mike has a problem.
It's Labor Day.
We never
even said that. It was Happy Labor Day.
Big union guy.
Big union guy, right? Yeah, you got the day off. You go spend it on the river, on an airboat.
With screaming children.
Yeah, with screaming children. Would not recommend that part. So
you got to do it. You signed up for that shit, Mike.
Yeah, that's what happened. So, KB, what you got?
I'm drinking the EOS. It's like my go-to right out of the gate. Every time I walk into this studio, I walk over to the fridge and I check to make sure that we have EOS first.
That's the first thing you look
It's
for.
the first thing I do. I usually like chug a water and then I just start pounding EOS Hefeweizen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
As one does. You are a regular human man. I see a Hefeweizen, I chug it. All right, fellas. Well, since Connor's not here, and where's Connor at?
Yeah, well,
He's got other things to do.
he's going to be drinking a Pilsner, I'm sure, at his fantasy draft that he's at.
Yes.
So, yeah, he did not want to join us today. So it is just the OG3. OG3.
Well, okay, Mike or Kyle, I don't care. Whoever wants to do it. Nebraska Brewing Company, world class.
In every glass.
All right.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Hey, that was smooth. And it might have sounded better.
Oh.
he is in the chat.
Oh, I'm sure he is. That's why we are taking the jabs that we are.
Hi,
So,
Connie. How are you? I hope your draft goes shitty.
yeah, I hope you draft like ass.
Draft like ass. Hey, so Nebraska football. +1 in the win category and in the turnover margin.
Hey,
Should be +2.
Some might say +2.
hey, give me a hip hip hooray. You know what I mean?
Give
Hip
me a
hip.
mic.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Give me sprinkles.
Woo!
Hey, question for you guys.
Okay.
So that's what a quarterback looks like? Is that what that is?
That was
Is that what we saw?
more than just a quarterback. That was
What was it? How would you
that
describe
is
it?
the definition of why a guy is rated a 5-star versus a 4-star.
Mhm.
We've seen 4-stars and we're like, yeah, those guys are really talented. This is the first time we've ever seen a 5-star with their own eyes wearing a Husker uniform. And that's different.
That's way different.
So just watching, I think he's 18 still. The physical abilities is very apparent. The other thing that's very apparent, and to me personally, is even more encouraging, is the mental side of the quarterback position that he exuded on that day. There's that famous that play going around with Emmett's 42-yarder, how DR checked out of a play like 3 times, apparently.
Yes.
And it led to the longest rushing play of the game. And so taking that into account, and then also just handling the moment as if it was not his first game ever as a college quarterback.
Not to mention that he handled the moment and everything was looking at him. Like all the lights were shined on him from the start to before the game to during the game. Everybody was talking about it, and he lived up to every ounce of the hype.
Camera in his face.
Yeah, like up in his business while he's with his family.
His dad.
Up in his business when he's getting off the bus. Like everything from pregame to postgame. Then he shows up at the volleyball game after he's done. Like this guy is.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for someone to be like, ha, gotcha, bitch.
Or, yeah, like I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to say, you got pumped.
This is insane.
Yeah, this is. So we wanted to do like a Sunday show where we would call it Cornhusker Counseling, and we treat it as if we are licensed therapists talking you through either a triumphant victory or a traumatic loss.
And we still are going to be doing that. Just we did not do it yesterday.
But the point that I wanted to say, because it is especially fitting for what we saw this past Saturday, is although it is called Cornhusker Counseling, this Sunday would have been a very bad day to do it, because Kyle, you had Husker fans all around calling their therapists and canceling their appointment.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this week, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't need you to talk me down from a ledge this week. I don't feel like ending my life this week. I feel pretty happy. So I don't need to talk to you this week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I just like Mike was saying, it was spot on. Just like Coach BA says, seeing a 5-star quarterback is just like shocking almost. like you brought up the Emmett Johnson run, and it was like, yeah, Coach Rule gets up there and says, yeah, he did like 3 checks, and you can see him like, okay, he analyzes the defense, moves him over, analyzes it again, moves him back. Then he starts telling the offensive line like, hey, he says something right. When was the last time? You've never seen Heinrich do that. You never saw Adrian do that.
Casey Thompson.
You never saw like Tommy Armstrong. I don't even think really had that control over the offense like that.
Right.
It is just so alarming. Like my cousin texted me, right? And he's like, whoa, man, like that quarterback play. I said, yeah, it's competent quarterback play. That is just weird, isn't it? Like it is legit.
It is very surreal right now.
I got a text from a former Husker who played with Tommy Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
Our good friend, Dad Honey. Dad texted me during the game.
Former Husker offensive lineman Sam Hahn.
I texted him. Well, so he texted me. He said, yeah, Dylan is good. I texted back and I said, 2nd and 30?
Yeah.
We get a tutty on that drive?
On the first drive, drive of the game.
What?
Yeah.
I said, Tommy wasn't even doing that. He said, never. The most talented quarterback we've ever had at Nebraska. That is what he said.
Just, pure talent.
That is a former Husker.
Now, people are going to say it's UTEP.
It's just UTEP. I get it.
Yeah. And, it's true. UTEP is not a good team. But you have 2 choices here for every football game that you play. All right. You can either win or lose. But not only that, if you're going to win, you can either dominate the other team, or you can make it very interesting and scary.
Colorado, Nebraska.
Yeah, just like with North Dakota State. If I have my druthers, I would rather my favorite team dominate the other team.
Yes.
Like, what other choice do I have here, people? Like,
yeah.
For one, we can talk about how you're greedy for certain things that happen in the game, and it doesn't look good enough, bro. The game control. They had control of the game. There was a moment, that quick strike drive on like 3 plays. And, I think I was either looking at you, Kyle, or Connor going, okay, this is that moment that I was kind of talking about. Like, there's going to be a moment in the game where you're kind of going, oy.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I don't like this. But, bro, a little bit of a.
But it didn't happen.
It
didn't happen.
Nebraska had game control. And honestly, what more could you ask for?
You know what?
Seriously.
So, I think, so that happens, right? And then is it the next drive that we fumble in the red zone?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a moment for me where I was like, okay, that was a moment where you could just answer and everything is fine. You go answer and then, you're in control. And then they fumble it. And I'm like, okay, here it is.
Here we go again, right?
Here it is. This is what I'm accustomed to. This is it.
It was a tie game.
It's tie game.
7-7. You're about to drive and score.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. And then you fumble and it's like, yep, there it is. They can't close. They can't do it. That's what we've watched for the last 10 years.
Puckering up.
And then the safety happens. And I'm like, whoa.
When was the last time that you saw a safety?
Off the top of my head, Adam Carricker against Colorado, actually.
I'm sure we've had
there was
since
2006. And no, Cam Taylor-Britt does not count at Illinois.
Yeah. There was one a few years ago against like Northwestern. I think I was at that game and we got a safety on them, but then we ended up losing. So
yeah, you're right about that though. Like there was like a decision tree here. It was like, okay, we're going to go and answer this. And then we fumble and we're like, here we go again. And the team has two choices. They're like, we could do what we've always done and let that one little thing just destroy you the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. Honestly, probably the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. You can point to one moment, onside kick against Northwestern, and it just ruins the rest of the season, right? Like we could let one play define a season and or the game.
Yeah.
And what did they decide to do? They were like, no, this time the defense is going to do their job. They're going to get a safety, and then we're going to go back and we're going to have a 9-point swing. That was insane.
Yeah. Just for future reference, if you're going to fumble, it's more than likely not going to result in 9 points. So let's just not do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're usually
and
not
we have to get into that a little bit too.
Yeah.
When we talk about the 4 ors again, but
yeah. I mean, I don't think we need to beat this dead horse, right? I mean, it's Monday. So you've already heard plenty of Raiola talk. We're not going to say anything different. Like it was a, dare I say, a masterclass in quarterbacking.
Which is why he was recognized as the Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Congratulations to Dylan Raiola for Big Ten Freshman of the Week.
And actually, I will make one last point. As you fellas are well aware, for a lot of last season and this offseason, I have been pretty, critical of Matt Rule and some of his coaching decisions and Coach Satterfield, while also acknowledging the shitty hand that they were dealt last year. I totally get it. What Saturday made apparent to me is just how much of a difference when you have a caliber of quarterback like that, how that changes everything that you do as a coach.
Yeah.
And the decision-making, like, for instance, at the end of the first half, you had Matt Rule in the press conference after the game say, I didn't go up to Dylan and say, oh, hurry up. It was, get it up, get it down.
Yeah.
Make a play. Make something happen. I didn't need to freak out and coach him up and you got to do this. Get it up, get it down. And when you have a quarterback the caliber of Dylan Raiola, who freaking pinpoints it to Jamal Banks, and he goes and it's a work of art.
Yeah, I mean, the way the whole team ran up, they clocked it. Like the 2-minute drill was perfection. It was exactly how it should look. Mm-hmm. And that is the overarching takeaway for me, just from watching that game on Saturday was, and this is something that has been missing for years.
Yes.
Is that looked everything about that game, every aspect of the football team, it looked how it should have looked against a team like UTEP.
Yes.
That's it. That's the best way to conclude it.
You did it against a team that you had to do it against.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. If you're going to control a game, if you're going to dominate on another team, I'm not even asking you to do that against a Big Ten team, but I am going to ask that you do that against UTEP if you're going to do it. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I loved it. It made me feel good. It made me question everything about my reality in a good way. Because I was asking myself, is this real? Is this okay? Is it okay to feel good?
Yeah. I think so. Coach BA asked me a question earlier, and he's like, does the way that Dylan and the wide receivers played against UTEP, does that change your outlook on the rest of the season? Does that move the needle on your win-loss? And I told him I can answer that question after Colorado. I said,
yeah,
UTEP is UTEP. I want to see it done against a team where all the lights are on, prime's in the building, Shadir, everything else is, all that stuff's happening. I want to see how that goes. How does Dylan look in that environment?
I had told Connor, our missing man over there in that empty chair on Saturday while I was watching the game at Nebraska Brewing Company. I said, all right, the clock has struck 0. The final score is 40-7. When we get to the bottom line, when we all gave our predictions, we all said that Nebraska would win. Okay? So I am keeping that in perspective. Okay? What we said would happen, did. Now, the way it looked, yes, you add emotion to it. It's always going to add a little bit of a wrinkle. Anything else about the quarterbacks that you want to talk about?
I do need to talk about one more thing. So just like a perfectly pass thrown by Dylan Raiola, Caniglias really knows how to deliver the perfect pass.
Nice.
Just to give you guys a reminder, Caniglias Mano is one of the sponsors here at No Block, No Rock, and they are a locally family-owned restaurant in Papillion, Nebraska. Caniglias produces high-quality food and service while cultivating great relationships with the community. Mano translate to by hand. I mean, Dylan pretty much could have not delivered the ball any better by hand. That's how good he threw that ball. So the dough, the meatballs, the fresh chopped veggies, signature sauces, house dressings, everything is made from scratch at Caniglias Mano in Papillion, Nebraska. And when you show up, you'll be greeted with a smile and treated like family. If you're looking for authentic flavors, check out Caniglias Mano. Did you like the way I rolled that in?
Kyle, if Mike's reading of the Caniglias ad proved anything to potential sponsors out there, who else would give you a better, more personalized reading of your product that you're hawking? Yeah. Come on.
I mean,
who else would do that?
How'd I do?
Great. 10 out of 10.
It was good.
That was a great toss,
It was
right?
good.
Yeah. Great toss. Like Dylan, that when he dropped it in the bucket on the sideline, that was insane. And then let's not overlook the Nayor broken tackle, all that stuff. That was
we're gonna get into that.
So it was cool.
The only thing, Mike, out of your Caniglias ad that I would want is like a calzone reference. Come on. Make it happen. Figure it out.
I don't know if they have calzones.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But they have pizza. They have subs.
Hey, meatballs.
Yeah, Paul commented fantastic pizza, and it is fantastic.
It's literally fantastic. I cannot wait for Jamie to bring us another pizza from Caniglia.
I know. I was wondering when that was going to happen next.
Today was a little bit last minute. I will text them and see if they could hook us up next week.
It's Labor Day. It's a crazy day.
Celebrate Colorado.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything else about Caniglias?
I did
Besides
not.
go there. Nope. Okay. Running backs.
Oh, boy.
I had posted a poll on Twitter asking which of the 4 oarsmen ran the best, in your opinion, Husker Nation. And Dowdell took that crown with over 50%, with Emmett taking second place. I guess I'll ask you guys, do you agree with the Dowdell pick? If so, why? If not, why not?
A little column A, a little column B. I do think that Dante Dowdell is our most dynamic running back. I think he has something special. But he put the ball on the ground, and Matt Rule stuck to his word that he said, if you're going to fumble this ball, you're not going to play. And he did get in one more play later in the game, did not touch the ball. And Gabe got all the short yardage touchdowns. My question with the Dowdell, like I said, I think he isn't good enough to be running back 1. I think he does have something a little bit different than the other guys have. But if you can run for 200 yards with 4 guys, do you really need a bell cow? And that's what I want to ask you guys is like, Dowdell played really well, but do we need one guy? Can we just run all 4 and keep them fresh all year? Because we know one of them is going to get hurt.
Yeah. So I think I might start considering Rule kind of like a gambling man. And I'll tell you why. does the risk outweigh the reward? Did Dowdell, did he show you something that the other three did not? Was there a super steep drop off in production from running with Dowdell and running with the other three? Was there that big of a difference? And then you translate that to the risk of, well, did the other three fumble and did he? Which one is more important? Did you losing the football on the 3-yard line a bigger deal than needing a bell cow or a cowbell, whatever you want to say?
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Watching the game, if you just look at the stats, you'll see that Emmett Johnson had 71 yards on 8 carries, good for an average of 9 per carry.
I mean, one of those was 41 yards, though.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, that's the point where I was going.
And he got caught from behind. That is the most annoying part, because we've talked about Emmett Johnson.
Not a big home run guy.
He's not a home run guy. He doesn't have that extra gear.
Nah. But, like, if you're watching the game, I think Dowdell overall ran the best. There's something about when you watch Dowdell run, it's like he's always leaning forward. Okay. The thing that I like about that is, especially if you go up against Colorado, I think that will be especially helpful. The running style stands out to me, Kyle Byers. I just feel like Dowdell ran the best overall, more consistently over the course of the game. But how often have we talked, if only they wouldn't have turned the ball over, they would have won.
Now,
you know what I mean? And I want to forgive Dowdell. I want to. And because I think overall he did run the best. But dude, if you put it on the ground, I can't trust you, man. I've been heartbroken too many times.
Yeah. So there's a couple comments in here. One from Nate Crissel. I'm sorry if I blew that. Dowdell shouldn't have coughed it up. However, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this one time and say that UTEP player put that helmet perfectly on the ball, which is true. Sure. And the BA coaches show says, my question to NBNR, did you expect an entire season with 0 fumbles? I feel it's unrealistic to expect none all season and label a kid as a fumble risk. Now, to that point, I will say last year, who was the fumble risk? The
Anthony Grant, who also wore the same number as Dowdell.
Anthony Grant, preseason, Matt Rule is in front of the media saying the dude has fumble problems. And I keep telling him, if he keeps having this issue, And then what happens? We go to Minnesota and they put him in 2 critical drives and he fumbles the ball. This year, Matt Rule's not talking about Dante Dowdell being a huge fumble problem. And maybe it really was just a one-off thing. A helmet hits it in the perfect spot, which will happen against any team that you play. It happens to every team in the country. So I'm not blaring the sirens right now, but it is just a factor of you've got 4 running backs, 4 that all produced something for you on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Is the risk of the turnover worth not just playing the other 3? Because I truthfully don't think there was as steep of a production issue that I really didn't see a huge drop-off from the 3 compared to Dante.
When Dante scored that first touchdown, though, if you notice the way he was carrying the ball, he had the 4-point thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think it's no. I think it could have been a one-off thing. I don't think you're going to throw the guy in the doghouse. No. Especially if they go back and watch the film. Like, he was the most aggressive runner. Vision was there. There was an extra burst there and the power. Like, I feel like he's kind of a mix of all the other guys.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has the breakaway speed. We didn't really get to see that, but I did see Ramir running a giant hole.
Yes,
and he runs in the back of the offensive lineman. Or
I called that one out when we were watching.
That was brutal.
Listen,
and that's the type of stuff I want to see. I think Emmett has the best vision. That dude can get skinny real fast.
Yeah,
but I just think that, and honestly, Gabe was fine in the short yardage thing in that role. He can do that.
Yeah,
and if that's his role, less reps, less chance to get hurt.
So, Kyle, to your point, like, everybody is just kind of on the same level here.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be one thing if Dowdell was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And like, oh, man, a helmet knocked it out. We're still going to play Adrian Peterson because it's AP all day, right? For me, I would probably start Dowdell against Colorado. And to your point also about how Dowdell is probably not a fumble risk, there's a reason why Dowdell started this game. Because throughout practice, you have to think over the course of spring ball and fall camp that Dowdell has not shown this to be a problem, because if it wasn't, Matt Rule probably wouldn't have started him.
Well, and he would probably say something to the media. Because the media is going to ask, why didn't we see Dante? And I guarantee you he would say, well, because he had fumble problems all year or all off season.
And it's funny, right? Because when spring was rolling around, I believe Dowdell was one of the names that he mentioned as like, yeah, he just hasn't really stood out. The fumble thing did not mention that.
He was fourth.
Yeah.
He literally just brought it up again. He was fourth.
And so just the fact that he is now starting, I mean, you got to think that lit a fire.
He's a gamer. I said that in our live show on Friday. I said, when I put up the poll, it was, okay, which running back do you think will lead the team in yards or whatever? Everybody, I think you guys all said Emmett, which is the safe bet. I said, look out for Dante Dowdell. I think he's the type of guy. We saw it in the spring game where when the lights are the brightest, he's a gamer. And we kind of saw it on Saturday. He was a gamer. He looked like maybe he doesn't practice that well. I don't know. Apparently he must have, because he got into the rotation.
Right.
But that dude, the lights turned on bright and he balled out until he didn't. So short leash. So I think Matt Rule has to have a short leash with him. If he does put the ball on the turf again, I don't expect to see him for a long time.
I mean, Matt Rule has the luxury of having 4 running backs that have all seen the field at some point in their career. They have experience. So he has the benefit of being like, yeah, you know what? I'm sticking to my word. And if you turn over the football, you're out. Because I've got 3 other guys that want to start.
Yep. It's an open competition.
Yeah.
We knew that going into that game. And he's the one that put on the turf.
So which of the 4 oarsmen are you starting against Colorado then?
Dowdell.
Yeah.
I think he has something different than the other 3 guys have. I think there's an added benefit, especially playing in the Big Ten with the physicality. I think he has the body type for it. He had that surprising burst that I didn't expect. I thought he'd be more like Gabe, where, yeah, I mean, he's okay. He's not super fast, but
right.
I thought he was going to be just a big power back. I thought it was going to be like Jerome Bettis. That was not the case. That dude, shifty and can run through you. I liked that. I think there's more pros if you start Dowdell.
I'm with you. I'm voting Dowdell as well.
Kyle?
I'll take Dowdell.
Okay. So we are all around saying, give him another chance. Put me in, coach.
And this is all while acknowledging that Dowdell is not Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he is not Adrian Peterson.
There's nobody in that room that is Adrian Peterson. Okay. Just real quick on the O-line. I felt like they played UTEP and they played like they were playing against UTEP. They did very well run blocking. You could tell that they were getting a push. Dylan Raiola got sacked once.
Yeah, that was like a miscommunication type thing, though.
Yeah, and Matt Rule had mentioned that, Dylan held on to it too long. Sure, okay. I mean, I'm going to take his word for it, I guess. O-line. 1 penalty against Ben Hart. Ben Hart. Damn it.
Okay.
Come on, 54.
Come on.
First drive, false start. Like, other than that, they played UTEP and they got a push. I have seen Husker teams play similar opponents and not really get a push before.
Yeah.
So I like the way they played.
I like the way they played. I will say, you're saying it's just UTEP, but that was like the one thing that UTEP had going in is they had some guys that could be Sunday type pass rushers. And I think they fared pretty well. Yeah. 69 got burned by once, but it didn't result in a sack or anything. Dylan stepped up in the pocket and delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So, but overall, I think they held their own. I think Bryce Benhart kind of struggled a little bit, but honestly held their own. Dylan had a good pocket. He had lots of time to throw the entire game.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. I'll just say this. That offensive line did have a 30-pound advantage on average.
Yes.
Over their defensive line. I mean, they can scheme things up and they can bring in different blitzes and stuff, and they picked all that stuff up great.
Yeah.
But there certainly was an advantage, which obviously.
Kyle, there was an advantage and it showed. Yeah, that's what I want. Yep. If you have an advantage in something, then play like it is one.
Well, I mean, we had an advantage against Georgia Southern.
Oh, yeah.
And then we did it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. O-line
Hey,
Keep it up.
I'll give you a B plus. Dylan got sacked one time.
B plus sounds
B plus.
reasonable.
Yeah.
B. At least a B.
Honestly, I would say an A. Honestly.
Okay.
I would, because just watching Dylan, the dude was literally just standing there, looking around.
Like, I cannot really in my head think of a moment where I'm like, oh God, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really didn't even get close to being touched other than that one sack. So,
okay. Wide receivers and tight ends.
oh boy.
Oh man.
Isaiah Nair. Hello.
Can we? Yeah. Let's make sure we divide those in two groups.
I want to start with Fedoni.
Sure.
What the fuck are they
Listen,
doing?
We got 1 yard with the guy. 1 yard.
Minus yards.
No, he ended the day with 1 yard.
Oh, okay.
He had a reception for like 5 yards.
Yeah.
Once.
I don't know if that was just the design just to use him that way, which was like, I think he got 3 catches or 3 targets maybe, and they were just those little like screen, little bubble throws.
Yes.
I don't know if that was just like, hey, we really don't need you today, so we're just gonna get you some touches just cause. But I hope they have a plan for how to use him moving forward.
And it better not be that plan.
It should not be swing passes to your tight end. I'm sorry. He's a good athlete. He's not a dynamic guy like Nair. Barney. Like,
Right.
I'd rather throw those things to Barney and let him cook. Get Fedoni out there, let him be the safety blanket, because it looked like Nair was the safety blanket, which we had preached that would be Fedoni's job.
Mhm.
For a young quarterback, they love a good tight end. I don't know.
Dude, I hate to bring up the whole Tin Man thing, but when you ask Fedoni to go east-west, that whole Tin Man thing kind of pops up in my head again. I need him going down the middle of the field, doing a seam, do something that is not east-west, get him north-south. Once he gets going, he kind of looks like a gazelle a little bit, but when you're going east-west, and, I can think of that one swing pass where no block, no rock didn't really happen on that play, and there were just 2 dudes running full speed at him, and you saw, I think it was Banks and someone else, like, oh, you must have missed a block off camera, because you're like making up for it by running into the frame now.
Yeah.
So go north-south with Fedoni, please.
Yeah, I mean, like, the way that I imagine them using him is like get him against middle linebacker. Like there is a serious mismatch. Anybody you put him up against in the middle, so just do that. Yeah, like
Don't get cute.
It looked clunky with him trying to catch it like back here and then turning around and trying to run that way. It was just looked clunky. It did not look good.
I heard his knees go.
Yeah. And Logan Sukup, Sukup. Sorry, I'm blowing these names. To be fair, they did the same play to Nelson and it worked. And you know what? Nelson
that dude is
well, and some people might say that Nelson moves a little bit better.
He does.
Thomas Fedoni.
They have different body types.
And it helps. Sure. And it also helps if you watch that play. Jamal Banks blocked his guy. And not just that, the way that Carter Nelson handled the block. Yeah, like he waited for the block. He ran around it.
Yep.
And then you can see a little burst down the sideline a little bit.
Yep.
So the way that he waited for the block and the fact that there actually was a block helps.
Yeah, it was one-on-one, and he was patient and waited for Banks to get over there, make the block, and then he just ran around it, and it was 12 yards.
Yeah. Definitely didn't look like a freshman that played 8-man football. He looked like he belonged. So that was kind of nice. I see why Nick Saban recruited him.
Yeah, all those coaches that visited Ainsworth, Nebraska. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I get it.
That's why Nick Saban was in Ainsworth.
Yes.
But it was 3 catches. There was another play where like he got hit and he could have gotten tackled easily, but he put his fist in the turf and he stayed up and he got a few more yards. Like, hey, I like that.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. BA says it's in the works. Let's have this discussion on play calling after a few games. He said they only opened up 20% of the playbook. We're just talking about UTEP.
20%.
That's what happened on Saturday. They gave Fedoni 3 routes that were east and west.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
I mean, let's hope.
It is what it is.
Let's hope that the other 80% is Fedoni going that way.
Yeah. Hopefully, Ben Audi. It's not Satterfield being Satterfield.
I mean, Satterfield, he had himself a day. on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not here to slander the man, the myth, the legend.
Listen,
Marcus Satterfield.
Nope. Moving on past that.
Wide receivers.
So it's obvious that Nair is Dylan's dude.
Yeah, fine. That's fine with me.
Like you could tell that. All right, where's 18 at? There he is.
He gets open though.
It was apparent. Yeah, and
that's the difference though between this year and last year. Just having guys that are veteran receivers who are honestly just physical specimens who can actually get off the ball. They get themselves open. They're veteran enough to find pockets in the zone coverage. They get past the shitty man coverage they were seeing against UTEP. That's different. Like we didn't, those young receivers last year, and I'm sorry, Billy Kemp also wasn't doing that last year. So it's different.
Yeah. So Mike, you say physical specimens and getting open. Like if you're a physical specimen, like Nair and Banks too, even if you're not open, your arm length,
everything,
and your ability to jump or whatever increases that whole circle. That's called a catch radius.
Yep.
So, even if you're not open, hopefully Dylan can put it in a place that only you can get it, which you guys remember that diving play where it went right through his hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
happened.
That was a dime.
That was a dime.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the physical specimen thing, even if you're not open, if you're Isaiah Nair, you can use your physical freakiness to make a catch that maybe Billy Kemp would not have.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what I was going to comment, which is just like the catch radius. You saw that. It might have been Nair or it might have been Banks, but it kind of threw it like behind him and he like stopped like midair and like went back and caught it. And that ended up being a first down and it continued the drive.
That was Nair, but Banks did it in the end zone. So they both did it.
That was where I was headed next, was these 50-50 balls that I have been fucking begging for.
He grabs the microphone
For the last 5 years, 10 years, I've been begging for 50-50 balls to be taken care of. Like, why is it that it seems you look across the country and you just see these crazy ass catches on these go routes in the corner of the end zone and stuff, and there's always these blanketed receivers. In Nebraska, they have to be wide open and they have to be streaking down the field. There was never a 50-50 aspect of our wide receiver room, and this year it certainly appears as though there is.
When you think of some of the best modern wide receivers that Nebraska's had, you think of Trey Palmer, you're not throwing a 50-50 ball to him.
Yeah.
Right? If you think of Jordan Westerkamp, you're probably not throwing a 50-50 ball unless you're on Kellogg with a second left. And you have to.
I mean, who was the last one? What, Quincy Anunua is probably like the last big body
dude.
50-50 guy? Because like Omar Manning was supposed to be that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you would consider Kenny Bell to be a 50-50 guy, but
no, he's small. No.
So yeah,
I think
it looks like
Quincy Anunua. We have two Quincy Anunuas on this roster. It's kind of cool, but they're way faster than Quincy Anunua.
A wide receiver that is able to box out his defender and high point the ball and just make that freaking catch. I mean, that was, it was beautiful. I might have cried. And then you factor in the fact that it was a 2-minute thing and it was, getting crazy at the end.
Sam Wentworth says Stanley Morgan. And to be honest, I think
Stanley was like,
I think he was more of just like we got to catch him in space and he's got to go.
Yeah.
I think he was just there. He was kind of similar to like a Kenny Bell or Westerkamp where he's just Mr. Reliable. He's going to be there. He's going to get open, but he wasn't a 50-50 ball guy. No, I don't think he was. He's not Maurice Purify.
No, it's just been a long time.
It's been a while.
And okay, the other thing too is in the fourth quarter and late in the third, you're seeing all these backups come in, which is just a welcome sight. You have Heinrich Harburg throw a pass to Alex Bullock. Now,
so you're starting quarterback and number one receiver.
When it's happening in the fourth quarter of a 40-7 game versus UTEP, it's nice to see. When it's happening in a tie game, albeit 0-0 with 15 minutes in the first quarter against Michigan, it's a big difference. Big difference seeing Heinrich Harburg go to Alex Bullock last year and then now this year. when you see it, you're hoping it's during a blowout when the game is already in hand. Tell me that there has not been a freaking significant upgrade in the roster here.
Everything.
My goodness.
Everything, man.
Yo.
Everything.
I mean, putting the backups in there. That's the reason why I like made it a point. I don't know if you guys noticed. I've been making these videos with all these true freshmen playing. When have you ever seen true freshmen come into a game and it's like the 90s. It's like the 90s, guys.
Whenever you ever seen 107 or 108 people play in a football game?
That's awesome.
At any college.
God,
it's awesome. I don't think former head coach Scott
beep
would have done that. I think he would have left Dylan in the entire third quarter. Guaranteed.
Well, I mean, who?
Well, because we would have never had a lead, though. So let's be real.
And maybe Scott Frost was like a stats guy. He's like, oh, I got to get him his 300.
Yeah.
Because so I could make my numbers look better, too. Because I'm the offensive wizard guy.
Yeah. Big brain. I work for the Rams now.
Yes. Big.
Yeah. Congratulations to our former Nebraska quarterback.
Big Ram man.
Officially hired.
Hey, good for you.
At the Rams.
You've been golfing. You've been hiding in your freaking mansion in Arizona. You got paid. Good for you. It's America. It's capitalism. Good job, buddy.
Well, I don't.
You took advantage.
I don't think he even really got paid, like, because he's probably taking.
Did you just fucking say?
I'm sure he's taking like the bare minimum because Nebraska's still paying him. So
yeah,
I'm sure he's not getting paid dick from the Rams.
Dick. What time are we at?
We're at 43 minutes. So any last notes on the?
It's just the offense, though.
Defense.
Go on.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Okay. D-line. Just I would just request that maybe we get a little more pressure, but they got enough pressure though. They
did.
You can't just look at sacks and be like, oh, they didn't sack the quarterback. They didn't get any pressure. Wrong. They did. The way that UTEP runs their offense, you're not going to get a ton of sacks.
No, because they get the ball out so fast. Yes. So Colorado is going to be totally different. Shadir will hold the ball as long as he can.
Yes. And I don't want to get too deep into Colorado, but like, I like Malcolm Hartzog. He has a big heart. He's a single-digit guy for a reason. He's just too freaking short. That's it. I just wish he wasn't so short.
Yeah, I don't know
and
why.
There's nothing he could do about that.
He was put on an island.
Yeah.
And we've seen him come through on some of those, but
he had a pick.
He did come make up for it and get a pick later in the game, but he was put on an island. And I pray that he is not on that island against Travis Hunter or Horn. So, do you not want to see that?
No, and like I'm trying to think of linebackers, right? That really stood out. Kai Bayer, he really stood out, right? He was around the ball all the time.
Yep.
Tied for leading tackles, 5.
Who was he tied with? Do you know off the top of your head? If not, it's okay.
It Bullock?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
but I don't remember. I had it in my notes that I didn't bring here.
That's good.
They got the safety. They came up big. The defense, surprise, surprise, coming up big when the offense doesn't fulfill its job. Good job, defense. Good job. Defense. Anything else? God, I like how we're just glossing over the best unit on the team.
I thought that they
balled out.
I thought that they made a lot of really good decisions in the backfield. So there was a lot of like zone reads or like play action handoffs and things like that. And it seemed like they were making the correct decision where they weren't just selling out for the running back or the quarterback. It certainly helped that they were in the backfield by the time they were even getting ready to hand off the ball because they could just tackle both. But I thought they were making really good decisions as far as like once they got back there, they were just killing. Like they were going at it.
You're right. In my mind's eye, if I'm remembering correctly, Ty Robinson.
Yep, he did. He had one.
He recognized it was a screen. Hey, you're a 10th year senior. Good job. That's why we have these guys. Yeah, because they've seen a lot of shit. Special teams. Don't kick the ball out of bounds ever again. Okay.
I also don't like that we don't have a guy that can just kick it through the end zone. I'm sorry.
I know.
That is it crazy to me that I don't want guys to have returns. Like I think Matt Rule had mentioned that was kind of like the plan was they wanted to have them return the ball and have a chance to maybe force a fumble, wreak havoc, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, maybe I'm just totally crazy, but I would just eliminate that part of the game altogether. Let's kick it through the end zone.
If you're playing against UTEP, like maybe it's okay they return it, because I can't recall a time where they got it like past the 20 if they did return it.
They didn't.
So against them, maybe not.
But like Colorado, I'm sorry. I don't want to see one of their dynamic, fast guys get the ball in space.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
That's fair. Yeah, because I can already see a streaking 12 go down the sideline going,
Hey, Buschini punted well.
48-yard average. That's
go.
that's the best that he's ever had in his career.
Yeah.
Which it's 2 punts.
Yeah.
But whatever.
He punted well.
He did.
So shout out to Boom Sheeny.
Tristan Alvaro made a 20-yarder. He was
5 for 5 on extra points.
On extra points, just like he was last year. We have someone that actually returned punts, which is different. Okay.
I don't know if I love him as a returner.
Well, here's the thing, right? If you have IGC, it's a little bit of Santino Pinico with like the occasional 5-yard return, right? So I guess the question for you is, do you want the IGC sure-handedness, or do you want the boomer bust of Barney, who like we think he can catch the ball.
I would imagine he can catch the ball.
You would think, right?
I mean, he catches kickoff,
but he's fast.
There's a lot more room for error on a kickoff. You drop that, you're probably sitting in the end zone anyway. Take a knee, you're good to go. Just recover it. You've got plenty of space between you and the other guys.
Yeah.
Punt. Ooh. I would much rather have my super senior be back there making the decisions and getting me 8 to 10 yards. Truthfully.
Okay, so
I don't need the boomer
IGC.
bust. The boomer bust is whether or not they actually catch the ball and the kicking team flips the field because we dropped it and they recovered. That's the boomer bust. All I need is a clean reception and 8 yards.
Okay,
that's
so
all
you're
I need.
IGC. Yeah, you IGC, or do you want to see what Barney's got?
Man, I got an angel and a devil, bruh. I got an angel.
I don't think there's a devil. I think Ja'Cory Barney's dynamic as hell, and I don't think he's gonna drop the ball.
I know. It's just you got the angel over here. It's like this is Nebraska football.
I don't care. It's different.
It's Nebraska. They're gonna fuck up. And then you have Barney, touchdown or fumble. Which one you picking? It's like
you get one chance.
The devil over here. I'm like, I kind of like the devil. Listen. I want to be entertained. That's kind of what football is, right? It's entertainment. Entertaining. Barney, go. Or IGC.
Hey, you know what? Iowa.
I like boring now.
Iowa has won 9, 10 games a year going.
No, they've had dynamic returners.
Give me that.
They've had good returners, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. I would say I want to see what Barney has. If he fumbles once, I'm done.
I would have liked it.
I'm just saying. I want to see, because that kid is special with the ball in his hands.
I would have liked it if they trotted him out there against UTEP
to just see what we had.
Or Northern Iowa.
Maybe Northern Iowa. I would like to see IGC next week. Because I want to see Barney against Northern Iowa.
Because if I throw IGC back there, more than likely he will catch it. And I think the thing that we don't want as Husker fans is more Colorado possessions. Yeah. I don't want Shadir to have the ball more than he needs to have it. Okay. So IGC, catch the fucking ball. Keep doing it.
For the first time ever, somebody said Kyle sounds like a football coach on the punt discussion. You're damn right. Special teams are important to me.
Yes.
They're close to my heart.
Third phase of the game, right? That's what they call it.
That's it.
Some people don't care about it. Former head coach Scott. There it is.
He hired an analyst and got in trouble for it. Remember?
Okay. What do you think? We take a quick break. My beer's gone.
And, my beer's gone on Thursday.
I think after the break, we are going to just hit Colorado.
Let's hit it.
And then we got to decide if we all still have our same predictions that we had on Friday.
Okay. Here we go.
Right back.
everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
First of all, what the fuck is that? Second of all, thank you, Method Man, and thank you, Troy Walters.
That was wild.
Jesus.
It's like you live in an apartment and you're being too loud, so the neighbors just like boom, 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 boom on the wall.
We're not even being loud.
No, we're good.
We're in our
Hey.
own little space.
We didn't hear, shut the up! Shut up! So I think we're okay.
I think the dance studio next door is just going nuts. They were really excited to hear us talk about Colorado.
Are they doing a punch the wall dance? What are they
I
doing?
don't really know.
Jesus.
There's literally the walls. I don't know if the people can actually hear it. I hope not. But they are beating the walls. Like I'm on the fence of going out there to see.
Like, I
Are
don't-
they in our studio or are they next door?
Hammering shit? Okay. While we're here, guys,
For now.
before the cops come in here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, we're probably getting swatted. Somebody called the police on us. And
Connor!
yeah.
Saw these three mysterious men come into the back of the building and they went in the door and they never came out.
Hostage situation.
I think there's like some construction going on,
Yeah, okay.
which is fantastic. We love that on a Monday.
Okay.
Colorado.
Going into Jesus, man. Okay, we're gonna have to just work through this.
Yep.
Going into our preseason predictions, we all had our justification as to why we picked a win or a loss. Okay. A few games have been played. Maybe our opinions have changed. We'll talk about that. I guess since we just don't really have that much time, Mike, you see Colorado play against NDSU. You see Nebraska play. You see Dylan Raiola be a freaking stud. And Shadur for that matter.
A fucking dog.
Does that change your prediction? Because you originally had a Nebraska L. Have you changed?
I don't know what to do. My heart is pounding saying beat Colorado. But my brain still says no. So no, we're gonna say I'm still in shut up and prove it mode. If they beat Colorado, I think a lot of my predictions might change. I'm telling you that now.
Sure.
We can come back here on Monday and we will go back, look at the schedule moving forward. If we beat Colorado, I think some things have changed.
So Mike and I, we both picked a Colorado win. Now, if you remember our justification, Michael Delaware,
I do.
it wasn't necessarily the physical aspect of the game.
No, not at all.
It was all mental.
Still is.
I think the mental thing is still on the table, although maybe it's changed. Maybe this whole mentality of the team has changed. You put a dude like Dylan Raiola back there, it does wonders for not just the talent that's on the field, but for the freaking God.
You're gonna have to do.
You're just going to deal with it.
I know. Not only does it make a huge difference in the talent on the field, but also between the ears, it does wonders. And not just between the ears of the players on the field, but also the coaching staff. That's why I am still sticking with Colorado win, because my reasoning of can you meet the moment, Nebraska? Can we beat a team that I'm conflicted. Are we supposed to beat them or not?
I think you're supposed to beat them.
Technically, you probably are. You're probably going to be a 3-point favorite or whatever.
I think it's 6.5.
Okay.
7.5.
I think it's going like this.
Okay.
It's been teetering between 6.5 and 7.5 for the last 48 hours.
So can you come out? Can you meet the moment? It's a night game. Colorado's going to try to do some fucky stuff, probably. Get in your head a little bit. Are you going to let them do that to you? And I hate to hold the past against Nebraska, but I am doing that this week. And I'm still going to stick with my original prediction.
I hope we're wrong. I seriously.
Well, that goes without.
Yeah, I know. I hope we're freaking wrong. And I hope this is just a different mentality, a different team. Kyle, do you think you predicted this as a win? Do you think after watching Nebraska play and Colorado play that Nebraska is still going to win the game on Saturday?
I do. And I think the play against UTEP actually only solidified that more for me. I can't tell you how many times, and this was something that like kept popping up while we were watching the game. I kept saying, when was the last time you saw that? Or when was the last time you saw this? I kept saying it over and over and over again, regardless of the opponent. When was the last time you saw that? Regardless.
Dude, what you're saying,
even in the blowout win against Northwestern, you saw stupid shit. You saw bad football, non-complimentary football. You saw this and that. For the first time, I watched a competent football program do what they were supposed to do and look how they were supposed to look. And so under the lights in Memorial Stadium with Colorado seemingly barely holding on against North Dakota State, give me Nebraska.
Well, in that game, you're going like you're looking at, like, wow, that's different. That's different. I looked over, Travis, my wife's cousin, he sits a couple seats down from me. And we didn't even like nothing. We just looked over at each other after Dylan made a couple of those throws and we're like, whoa. No, like we didn't even say any words. Just the eyes, the face, everything was the same. We're like, holy shit. So I totally, that is what my heart is pounding right now is what I saw on Saturday was different. And I think we should beat Colorado. But my brain, it has so much trauma, especially with that particular team.
Yeah,
like
we need
so
therapy.
much trauma.
Yes.
I can't do it. But like I said, on Saturday, I'm going to be the most hostile human. I don't want Nebraska to be nice on Saturday to Colorado fans. I want you to be assholes. I'm tired of this Nebraska nice bullshit. Let's be assholes.
Yeah, we're sick of clapping for the other team.
No, fuck that. No.
We only did that in the past because we kicked their ass and we felt sorry for them. Oh, they're so cute coming into Memorial Stadium. Oh, they think they're going to play good. Oh, they're so cute. Good job, guys. It wasn't because we're nice. It's because we were being facetious.
Yeah.
And we were being, a lot of Husker fans aren't going to like to hear this. I'm not sure you guys were all being too sincere with the whole good game. You were not being sincere. You were being kind of being an asshole.
Listen, they were being good winners.
Yeah.
They weren't, toting around the fact that they weren't bragging. They weren't doing any of that stuff. Hey, man, good game. Thanks for coming.
Well, if you haven't forgot, last year, Shadir made up all this shit about Matt Rule. They're talking shit about our coach, all that stuff. That's still there. These coaches are still there. That's on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they took it personal. Matt Rule literally had to go to the podium and speak on something that was just so outlandish and bullshit. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm Matt Rule, I'm in that locker room and I'm like, they said this stuff about us. Let's fucking take care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever
You gotta give him that huck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spit on that thing.
Wait.
After you sack Shadir, you can give him that hawk tool and spit on that thing.
Are we clipping that?
What?
What he just said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to hawk Tua Shadir? Like, is that a...
After we sack him, we're going to spit on him.
Listen, Mike.
Oh, that's it.
Listen, Mike.
Not the hawk tool part.
If that's the way you roll, bro, like, if you beat Colorado 44-17, you do all the hawk Tua you want.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you do you, fam. Just get the dub if you do. That's all. Just get the dub. Will Nebraska hit Shadir enough?
I hope so. I don't think we can hit him enough because we sacked him 7 times last year.
8.
Kyle, is there anybody in the chat saying that we're going to beat Colorado? If you're listening, if you're watching us live, put it in the chat. Do you think after watching Saturday's game, we should beat Colorado this week? I want to feel the audience a little bit.
There's nobody in there right now.
Okay.
No, there's people in there. They're not talking about if we're winning or not.
Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully they do. I am just saying, like, I feel like Saturday makes Nebraska fans more confident. Like Kyle's a perfect example. I think Kyle's in the majority.
Yeah.
I think we're in the minority for sure.
And that being said, like in August, when we do our predictions, when no games are being played, when all I have to really go based off of is Nebraska had a chance to go to a bowl last year, 4 chances, and went 0 for 4. That's still fresh in my mind, right?
Yep.
When I see Dylan play, it is enough for me to be like, it's definitely possible. Like if you would have asked me before the season started, hey, is it possible Nebraska wins? I would have said yeah, but I wouldn't have been nearly as confident as I am now, even though I am still predicting Colorado win. But dude, get me a freaking quarterback. I saw it with Brady. Okay, I saw it with Tebow. Follow me. I saw it with Uncle Cracker. Follow me. Let's go.
You're a big heroin guy, huh? Because that's what that song's about.
Is
Just,
it?
yeah, just fun fact.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes,
It will change. I guess I am. I don't know.
If you listen to the lyrics now, and once you say that, it'll ruin that song for you. That song's about heroin.
My point
is Jared loves
you know
heroin.
what? Hopefully, after the game, it'll feel like I took some heroin because I'm gonna be feeling real good. But you get me a dude who says, "Follow me." Hey, remember what happened last year? Who gives a fuck? Follow me. Let's go win. We can do this.
You know what?
And I don't think they've had anyone like that just said, yes, my legs are hurting. My back is hurting. Regardless, I will carry you. Let's go.
4 of the most impactful people were not even here last year on offense.
Right.
Weren't even here. And it's the same defense. If the defense last year hadn't been on the field as much, just because of, horrendous offensive play, the offensive play. What did Matt Rule say? What did he say? He said it was
Offensive, I think.
Yeah, I think it was offensive, right?
Yeah. Offensive to watch.
Yeah. Offensive.
It's the same defense, and your 4 most impactful players weren't there last year. Like they don't care about last year's game. It's not the same.
Again, when you have Harburg go to Alex Bullock in the fourth quarter of a blowout, and you look at what you have now, it can happen. Before, if you would ask me, I would have said, yeah, it can happen. Sure. But now I'm like, it can happen. Sure. And that's such a big difference, man. Between the ears. Get on my back. I'll carry you to victory.
Well, and that's the thing is people say, well, it's just UTEP. I mean, we watch teams like Oregon struggle against Idaho.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Nebraska made it look easy against UTEP, as they should. If Oregon's the second best team in the country, they should have made it look easy against Idaho. They did not do that, right? They took care of business. They won the game. You think that maybe Nebraska is an okay team. Yeah. If they make it look easy, and a couple other teams like Michigan and Oregon, some of those teams did not make it look easy. And we think those are good teams. Maybe Nebraska is a good team.
Yeah.
Saturday will tell us a lot. That's why I said I will change my entire slate. Maybe. I don't know. My overall record prediction could change completely. If we beat Colorado, I think it's going to do a lot.
This is
and I'm nervous.
That's why we had that discussion about this game.
Could
it be the catalyst to
is.
propel you? And I don't know. I don't remember your answer exactly, but you're like, well, there's still a lot of season left. I wouldn't say a loss would.
No, I don't think it. I still don't think a loss will totally derail what's going on because I think that quarterback is special.
Yeah.
But I think it can definitely catapult you. I think that this game on Saturday could be a freaking launch pad.
To the moon.
Some would say.
Clayton would say.
All
right. Do we want to do scoring predictions? Do we have one in mind?
Well, Hugh Morris in the chat, he says,
Hugh Mo,
62-36 Nebraska.
Holy shit.
Well, you know why he's saying that.
I mean,
you know why he's saying that.
I hope we score 62.
You know why he's saying that?
Why?
2001.
Oh.
Just reversed. That will officially reverse the curse if we do that. Okay. In my mind, I'll go first. 37-33 Colorado. That's in my mind right now. 37-33.
Kyle, go next.
I'm gonna say 35-28 Nebraska.
Shit, I want to change mine.
Because
I don't think Colorado's going to score 37. How about we'll do 27 to 24. It'll be a one-score loss. Unfortunately. 27-24.
Okay, Mike, what do you got?
I mean, they put up 31 against North Dakota State.
Mhm.
North Dakota State put up 26 on them.
Mhm. Old transitive property boy.
I'm not trying to do that, but it kind of gives me some reference. I know Nebraska put up 40 on UTEP, and I think Colorado's defense is about the same as UTEP. So I'm going to go 41-42 Colorado.
41-42.
Yep.
Jeez,
Oh,
that
boy.
is pain. What are you doing?
Sorry.
You're a glutton for punishment, bro.
Sorry.
I know I did a one score loss too.
Paul says 35-21 Nebraska.
Okay.
35-21. That would be fucking great.
I am so scared of what our secondary is going to look like against Travis Hunter and Horn.
Well, Tommy Hill.
We'll find out. Let's find out if he's a first round guy.
Here's what I want. I want Matt Rule. I want the game plan to look like this. They held the ball for 38 minutes last weekend. 38 minutes. Time of possession. They destroyed UTEP in time of possession. I want that to be the goal this weekend. You have got to keep Travis Hunter. Who's the other guy?
Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn. And you've
Shadir.
got to keep Shadir off the field. You have to keep them off the field. I want Shadir to be going like this from the bench the entire game. He cannot be out there.
If you recall, NDSU in the first half had the
Dominated.
ball for like 20 minutes. Like probably more than that. It's probably, I don't know. But then the second half, it all just, and you saw, hey, they kind of had the lead at half there. I wonder if that was a big part. Was the TOP. Another point I want to say, I said it during our live show. Travis Hunter is going to try to be aggressive when the ball's in the air, especially. Hey, Tommy Hill, you're going to feel probably a shove at your back every once in a while. It'll probably happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All I ask is that every once in a while you return the favor and be the aggressor every once in a while and don't do the fucking palms up. Where's the call? Where's the OPI? I don't want to see that. I don't. I'm a big no excuses guy. That's why when we had that group chat and a certain somebody was like, why don't they call anything? You guys are the ones that keep saying football's soft now. Now you're begging for calls left and right. Be the aggressor. No excuses. No palms up. That's all I ask.
I will say this.
Not all I ask.
I will say this against North Dakota State. That poor corner was getting shoved around, thrown to the ground, offensive pass interference. Everybody's calling for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the end zone, as soon as it happens to Hunter, it was defensive pass interference. I don't know what to make of all this. I don't think there's bias. To be honest with you, if I had to put money on the fact that like refs probably hate Colorado just because of their behavior, I would say, yeah, there's probably a good chance. But I'm just saying, as soon as it was returned, it was defensive pass interference.
But then Travis was a dog when he was getting pass interference.
He was
on
getting
him.
mugged.
Dude went and made an incredible catch.
Yeah.
I will say, Tommy Hill, with that frame, especially putting on the weight, he's gonna be tough to move. You want to try to push him, go for it. I just hope that athleticism shows up on Saturday. I think I think everybody in this room agrees that Tommy Hill is a freak athlete.
Sure.
And so is Travis Hunter. So that matchup is going to be juicy to watch. And if he dominates Tommy Hill,
listen, the wide receiver always has an advantage.
Yes.
Always has an advantage.
Yes.
So
Offense in general.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, if you're Tommy Hill, you're probably going to be off balance a lot. Like as the ball's in the air, he's shoving you, you're off balance. You're trying to make up for it. Like you're at a disadvantage, but I just think, I don't know, just give him shit on the line and let your defensive line take care of business while you're locking him up.
Couple things.
It's that easy, guys. It's that easy.
it's that easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. You're a coach now.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, a couple things. Could it be that we see two potential first round draft picks going at it? Some might say that's a possibility. The other thing, too, that people aren't talking about is you have Javen Wright out. Big coverage linebacker guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Mekhi Bear is not capable, But I think that's just a facet of the game that has me a little leery right now, is there's no Javin Wright to be an extra coverage guy. So I think that's just something to look out for.
Yeah. Well, Colorado's going to spread you out.
Yep.
They are not going to be lining up in I formation, packing it tight, trying to hand the ball off. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to spread you out, get your guys in space, and they're going to try to put their athletes over yours.
Dion wants his son to put up 500 passing yards.
Yes.
Yeah. For the NFL draft, right?
Yeah.
That's his main concern.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he probably wants to win, but he also wants his son to be drafted very high.
Colorado is very much, they just seem like this jailbreak, like just we're going to hike the ball and everybody just go, get open. We're going to try to protect him long enough so he can sit back there. My cousin plays NCAA 25 the exact same way.
Yeah.
Where he's just scrambling, improvising. People are just running all over the place. He waits for somebody to get out. Like, that's all it is. I don't know. I just think our defense is going to be able to handle it, especially if they're not on the field for 38 minutes.
Yeah. I think that is a key.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of that Tony White showcase game too.
Yeah.
I think NBC primetime against primetime. I think this is the type of game that Tony White can really solidify him leaving Nebraska. This is the game. If you can out scheme Colorado with all these guys that are probably going to be first round picks and or just NFL draft picks in general, if you can out scheme them and put your guys who maybe are not as athletic in the right position, like a Mekhi Bear, then I think Tony White could solidify himself as getting a upgrade next year.
And we won't go, why would he do that? We'll
Right.
go, oh, yeah,
I get
fine.
it.
That's
I
fine.
get it.
Yeah.
When the lights shine bright, he showed up and his defense showed up.
And, again, they're down and get off the field. That's what they did against UTEP. UTEP did not have one third down conversion in the first half. And I can't imagine they had very many in the second half either. So continue that. And it'll be a nice Saturday night.
Oh man, I can't wait. If you guys are at the game, if you're watching, watch for me. I'll be on the field. So I'll get to experience what the players are experiencing as far as the crowd noise. Hopefully, I think this year I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take my AirPods and I'm going to try to listen to like the broadcast. So that way I
That's
know
gonna
what's
throw you
going
off,
on.
Because it's going to be so far behind. You need to get like actual bunny ears.
No, yeah, like I'm going to get like the radio
Yeah,
like
you're
they
gonna
do that
have to.
online. Yeah, this is going to be the radio broadcast that I'm listening to.
Yeah, you're going to have to get like an AM radio headset.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll be so behind. You're going to be like, I already saw that. What the hell?
Yeah, I cannot wait for the environment. I just don't know if people truly understand what it's going to be like Saturday night.
I
don't know if I understand what it's going to be like Saturday
Well,
night.
I'm already preparing for my vocal cords to be just toast.
You better drink a lot of freaking tea or something.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do our Cornhusker counseling the next morning, but I will.
Sound like
Because I want if we do win, I want everybody to hear what it sounds like to be a true Husker fan in there screaming your lungs out.
Hey, you know what? During the game on Saturday, we were sitting in the brewery and we were like, "Come on, Mike! Come on, Mike!"
Yeah.
We were like yelling at the TV.
No,
like,
UTEP had a false start, and we're like, that was Mike.
Yeah,
that was
we
Mike.
did. We were high fiving after that false start. We were.
Hey,
We were like, that was me.
So I have my thoughts about Will Compton. On one hand, I'm glad that we have a Nebraska figure in the media that is a champion for Nebraska. And there's a flip side to it.
He's hip, Yeah. The youngins like him.
Yes. Even though they never watched him play.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's so like pro Nebraska that he's like the butt of the joke a lot of times and makes Nebraska the butt of the joke a lot of times. Whatever. If you're a fan in that stadium and you need Will Compton to say, get off your ass, to make you get off your ass, you might want to sell your season tickets. I don't know if Will Compton's going to do another video before the game to hype him up. But if you need that, come on, bro.
Hey, listen, I'll say this.
Get out of your seat.
We've talked on this podcast about the environment at Memorial Stadium and the fact that the university, Troy Dannon, Matt Rule, everybody was willing to put that on that board with him cussing and, them bleeping it out and all that other stuff.
Shove it up there.
For them to put that up there was, I think, a move in the right direction as far as the environment and going towards a different audience.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for the blue hairs in the stadium.
No, I love that.
They did that for the younger crowd that know who Will Compton is and what he does.
Curveball against Colorado. You know who's going to be doing that video? They're going to call him all the way down from New Jersey.
Oh, jeez.
Christian Peter's going to come back.
Listen.
He's going to finally come back to Nebraska, and he's going to deliver that speech to the crowd like he did in the 90s for the blue hairs and the youngins.
Yeah.
Christian Peter.
2 things. They will never bring Christian Peter back.
Probably not.
Google him.
I know. I'm just joking.
Number 2. I've had enough of the 90s shit.
Yeah, I know.
As someone who was born in the 90s, who went to Dodge Street after they beat Tennessee, I'm sick of the fucking 90s. That's why I'm kind of glad it was Will, because he's the new generation. Right?
He's the new generation cool guy.
Yeah, he's cool. Let's go Barstool. Okay. We all good here?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I'm ready for Saturday.
I am too.
I'm scared, but I'm so ready. It's going to be a fun tailgate. It's going to be like 9 a.m. till after the game. It's going to be a long day in Lincoln. That's all I got to say.
We're ready, but are the players ready?
I think they're ready.
Better fucking.
I think they're ready. I hope they win.
Mike.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
I hope they
Mike
win.
with the fucking hot take.
I hope they win so bad. Like, I really want them to win. I want to pick us to win so bad too. I can't do it.
It'll just be proof of concept. We need proof of concept.
I hope they win.
I hope they do. I'll be so happy. I haven't been that happy in so long. Honestly, if they beat Colorado, it might go up there as happy as I've been since I've had my children. I think that's it. Like, I don't think I've had any other thing that would make me that happy since I have my kids.
Every other day is rain clouds on Mike. They follow him around.
Yes.
He's sad all the time.
Anything with Nebraska football, pretty much. Oh, fuck. Can we win, please?
Yeah. Nobody's hating on the pregame video, Coach BA.
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah. I hate it. Just for the sake of argument. I hate it.
No, I like it. I like it.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. I'm one of your hosts. No. NBNRpodcast.com. Go to our website. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're trying to get tats. Get us to 1K on YouTube. We need it. BA, tell all your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. We good?
Yeah. And real quick, I just have something to announce. The Omaha Oktoberfest at Stinson Park is September 21st from noon to 10 p.m. Lots of good beer. There's going to be a ceremonial keg tapping at 12:30 p.m. Pre-purchase your commemorative extra large 20-ounce Stein and a t-shirt. If you're interested in the VIP tickets, they include entry to the event, 5-token wristband, a Stein, and access to the VIP section that will have Snow Beast beer available before the release date from Kincaidor. There's going to be music, polka music. I'm not somebody that knows much about polka music.
Hopefully it's Barry Boyce Band. That they are fun. They used to do the South O Day at Nebraska Brewing Company a bunch, and they are a great time.
Yeah, Barry Boyce Band will be there from 12 to 2:30.
Yes, best polka in Omaha.
General admission is $10. It includes 1 drink token plus taxes and fees when purchased in advance, or $20. It also includes 1 token at the door. There's no cash or card in the actual event. You have to buy tokens. But those can be purchased at the merch booth or in advance.
And that is when?
It is September 21st from noon to 10 p.m.
September
at Stinson
21st
Park.
at Stinson Park. A little Oktoberfest.
Yes, sir.
Woo! It's spooky season, boys.
Spooky, my pumpkin beer. Does Kincaidor have a pumpkin beer? I don't know.
I don't know, but
they better, because they're going to sell out of that shit.
Hey, Wick for Brains at Nebraska Brewing Company is pretty freaking good. That's all I got to say.
A lot of basic bitches going to be at Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Kyle Byers.
As always, beat Colorado!
Please.
Fuck. And GBR.